Hey, good morning, everybody. So, as I've been talking to a lot of friends, they keep telling me that I should produce more content about the stuff in my collection. So I figure I might as well just give a tour of my game room and my CRT collection. This rack is so big I can't even fit the entire thing in the frame. My back's against the wall right now, but if any of you attended Retro World Expo this year at the Convention Center in Hartford, Connecticut, you actually might recognize some of these screens. If you happen to have been in the main exhibit hall towards the back end, across from where the wrestling arena was, and there was like a big wall of CRTs on display over there, that was me. Yeah, all of those televisions that were at the show, the majority of them are in this rack right here, and everything was out of my collection. All right, I'm recording this on September 1st, 2024, so this is as the collection stands today. This collection can change over time. I do keep to a rule, which is one comes in, one goes out, so as I get new stuff for the collection, as I need to make room for them, say hi to Daisy, everybody. As I need to make room for them, I will get rid of some CRTs, either give them away free to friends or sell them on the cheap or whatnot. But this is how the collection stands as of today. But before I hit this wall, I'm going to go around and show you some of my other stuff, the stuff that's actually plugged in and I use regularly. Oh yes, and to answer your question, I do own traffic lights. They do work. I have acquired them legally through private collections, but yeah. So in case you had questions about those, that's why I have them. So over here, this is my main CRT. This is a Sony KV32FV27. I got this from my friend Sal. Sal, if you're watching this, what's up, dude? Absolutely love this thing. Has some of the best image I've ever seen on any flat screen Trinitron. The alignment is absolutely perfect. The colors are perfect. Convergence, purity, everything is bang up perfect on this set. I love it. Definitely a wonderful set to slide the chair in front of and just spend an afternoon playing some Genesis or even some like Neo Geo on there. I do have a bunch of different stuff hooked up under the stand to it, but yeah, so that's my main CRT. Then over here I have this guy. This is if I know the model number right, it's a Sony KV1207 from 1978. I do a lot of my RF only content on here, so I regularly have this front loader NES hooked up to it, or I'll do like say 2600 or some of my other older sets like Odyssey 2 or Television or ColecoVision. I could always put them on the big Sony, but just for aesthetic reasons, I prefer to toss them onto this little set right here. And let me tell you, when you're sitting in this seat right here, that Daisy better not be scratching up. When you're sitting on this and you just throw like an old VHS onto this television, oh, it's wonderful. It's just the most comfy thing ever to sit back and watch. And yep, it does have like these neat little channel selectors on the front of it, and then you open up the door. Here's your all your fine-tuning adjustment for whatever you want to have programmed for channels up here. And oh, it is CRT, so we're going to include it. I do have my one of my Vectrexes over here. I don't play it in this corner. This is the easiest place for me to store this one. So, I mean, just because of how weirdly shaped they are. So this one lives in the corner over here. I do also have, tucked underneath my desk, this one's not plugged in, but I do have this little, and I apologize for the glare you're getting from the window. This is a KV 8 AD11, I believe. I got this for, I think, $40 at a flea market in brand new condition. It didn't have the box, but I can tell it was never used because it still had the orange It's a Sony sticker right up in the corner right there. And this little guy, he's fantastic for if I'm ever tinkering on something. So say I'm sitting on the kitchen table and I'm working on a VCR or I'm refurbishing an old console and I just need some little CRT there to test something out, that thing's wonderful. It even has composite inputs, even for the size of it. And you might be wondering why I don't have a CRT computer monitor. That's because I do. It's that guy down in the corner. We'll get to it in a bit, but that monitor is so gosh darn chonky. It just does not fit on either this desk or any desk I've ever had in this room. So I'm waiting to, when I eventually move and I'm able to actually have a nice beefy desk. Yeah, I will be daily driving that monitor, but for now I just have this curved flat panel. It gets the job done. So now we're gonna move over to the CRT wall. I'm just gonna do, like, say, start up in the corner here and then work my way down. So up here, this is, I believe, the oldest CRT in my entire collection. I might have a couple black and white sets that are older than this one, but as far as like a standard size color screen, this definitely is the oldest. This is a Sony KV-1201 from 1971. It does work. It will display an image. You can tell it is struggling hardcore to display an image. It definitely needs a full service, like a full recap. The tube might be a little bit tired on it as well. I don't use this pretty much at all because of those reasons until I get around to actually doing a full refurbishment on it, which I do want to do. But still, it's nice to have a Trinitron this old, because I think the first Trinitrons came out in '68, so this is only like 3 years into the lifespan of the Trinitron, so definitely a neat little historical piece. Next to it, I have this Samsung Nabi TV. I apologize, some of these sets I won't know the model numbers off the top of my head too. If you're curious what exactly they are, feel free to reach out and I'll try to reply what they are. But yeah, and this is the case for this one right here. So it's a Samsung television, actually from like I think the very early 90s, like 90 or 91 was the year this was made. But I'm a huge fan of all of the like Nabi sets, and yeah, this one's lovely to put like 2600 onto, or let's say like pop on some like old TV shows or whatnot. Then next to it I have this Hitachi, another Nabi set from, I think this was from like the early 80s or so. Funny enough, I saw this exact set on an old episode of The Price is Right from the like early 80s or so. This was in a game of Safecrackers, if you're familiar with the show. And they had a price on it for $480. This was a thrift store find, I think, I don't know, like $5-10 or so a couple of years ago. Next to it, I have the Sampo. This was a gift from a friend at a retro game shop I used to loiter around at. This also has one of those neat little channel selectors on the side, and this does pop open. It's too far away, I can't really get at it, so unfortunately I can't demonstrate for you, but it's another neat set. Next to it, I have this Zenith portable CRT with built-in VHS player inside of it. These guys, I have memories of these guys back in the day when my parents would have this old Winnebago and we'd be going camping and we would either catch, I remember watching like Supermarket Sweep on the like one channel we were able to pick up over the air, or we'd always just bring like VHS tapes along with us, and I still use this one for the same purpose today. When I go camping, I bring this along with me, and I have one of those like little portable power banks that I'll use that to say if we hit a rainy day and just want to pop in a tape and watch in the tent. Oh, this thing's lovely for it. What is it, Daisy? I'm not giving her enough attention because I'm giving you guys attention. She'll be back. Alright, and then we have this MGA Mitsubishi television. I purchased this at a tag sale down the street from the home I grew up in Enfield, Connecticut. I was driving through my old neighborhood one day, and I think like 4 or 5 houses down the road from it, there was a tag sale. I drove past and I saw this sitting in their driveway and said, "Oh my goodness, CRT!" And so I went and grabbed it. Another lovely wood grain set. I just realized too, I should clarify for some of you guys out there, I am a Connecticut native. I say tag sale. If you're scratching your head and wondering what is a tag sale, yard sale, garage sale. For some reason here in Connecticut we call them tag sales. It confuses everyone else that isn't from this region. So if you hear me say the word tag sale, that's a garage sale. Now you know how to speak Connecticut. I'm going to start over here for the second row. This is one of my Commodore 1702s. Love these guys, both for the S-video capabilities they have, but even their composite image on these is just phenomenal. I don't think I've seen a 13-inch CRT with a better composite image than on a 1702. So if you get a chance to check one of these out in person, they're lovely, lovely things. And then this is the one PVM I have. You would think, hey Steve, you love CRTs, you have all these. Why don't you have more like PVMs or BVMs or broadcast monitors or whatnot? I'm a consumer CRT fan. Yep, she's back. I tend to kind of like just consumer sets, especially like stuff with like very interesting case designs, wood grain, or like oddball shapes to them and everything. So even though it's a PVM, because of this odd shape that this monitor has, it definitely calls to me. So that's the whole reason why I have it. So this is a Sony PVM 1311, I believe. Has a couple different inputs on the side. Composite, I believe it has S-video. It also has the weird VTR connector for hooking up to Sony Betacam or Betamax machines. I'm not terribly familiar with them, so I can't say for certain. And then it also has like the big, like 15-pin RGB connectors that I haven't messed around with yet. I've heard that you can get adapters for them, and if you have something RGB modded, they look fantastic on these screens. Haven't had a chance to do that yet because nearly all my consoles are bone stock, but still really cool monitor. I love the slightly upward angle of the front of the screen itself. Would make for a lovely set to have on a desktop. And then another one of my 1702s. This guy right here, as far as aesthetics go, nothing beats this set in my collection as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely love this TV. This is a Panasonic, if I know the model number, a CTH-1900 from 1986. I love this set. I love the big silver tuning knobs on it. I love that you can't see from this angle, but it has like that classic wood grain effect on the side of the case itself. Usually when I have this out, I have the big rabbit ear antennas coming off the top of it. Just why wouldn't you on a set like this? Also has, for an RF only set, it has a wonderful picture as well. Extremely crisp, extremely sharp, very straight. The colors are great. Not hardly any image noise whatsoever. I adore this set. It's probably one of the absolute favorites in my collection. If I had more room for it, I would definitely have this, say, like on this cart over here. But that's all I can fit in the corner over there. So unfortunately, this one lives in the rack for most of its time. But anytime I take this out, it's just absolute joy to use. This is the newest CRT in my collection. As far as date of acquisition, I got this set a couple weeks ago from my buddy Wyatt. Shout out to Wyatt. Thank you for this thing. Panasonic Tau from, I believe, 2004 or so. Lovely image on these. I've never had a Tau before this, but since I was given the set from Wyatt and I've been using, like, say, like a Genesis through HD Retrovision cables on here, it's been spectacular. I love the image on this. I can't wait to use it more. But yeah, don't sleep on the Taos. These are wonderful, wonderful sets. Now this here, I'm also going to turn on a light because it's a little dark in this room. I apologize for a little bit of the glare, but this here is, I think that, yeah, the only set in this entire rack that actually is not functional. So this is it's actually a Franken set, I would say. It is the case of a KV 1326R, but inside of it is the guts from a KV 1397R. The reason why this is kind of a hodgepodge of two different sets just smashed together, my buddy Brandon, who is the owner of Retro Junk here in Manchester, shout out to Brandon. If you've never visited Retro Junk on Main Street here in Manchester, Connecticut, absolutely go there. It's a wonderful shop. Brandon's like the nicest guy I know. Definitely give him some patronage. He is awesome. But anyway, so he received a 1397 set in through a trade. However, his 1397 was inoperable. I tried servicing it myself. I swapped over some ICs. I tried checking all the capacitors. I wasn't able to determine the exact issue that he was having with his. So instead, what I offered, being that like his set was a 1397 with a wood grain around the side, and obviously you'd want to keep that one working, I offered to do a case swap with my working 1326R. So the board from this TV ended up in his 1397, and then I took the board from his 1397 and just put it in here. So now he has that working set, and so this is just sitting here as pretty much part storage, because I do have, which I'll be getting to shortly, this 1397 over here, which is fully working. So I'm keeping this for spare parts in case I need a replacement tube or something off the board or whatnot. So that's how it's sitting right now. Next up, the Panasonic microwave. This is the Panasonic AG500, passionately referred to as the microwave among fans of this set, because I mean, look at it. You'd think you'd be putting in some like microwave popcorn into this thing, but the aesthetics of this thing are second to none. I love this set. When I knew they existed, I knew I had to find one for myself, and luckily I was able to get this one for a pretty decent price. They've gone significantly higher up in price just on the collector's market, because look at it. Why wouldn't it? But I love that I have this in the collection. It has my VHS, my VCR inside of this does still work. I love popping in a tape every now and again into this thing. And I do have, there's always two things that are always wrong with these sets whenever you encounter them in the wild. There's always two things that go missing. So it's either the door for the controls on the front, which luckily I do have my original door, or the acrylic cover that goes over top of the CRT screen itself. This is not an original cover to this set. This is one I made for it because mine was missing the original cover. This is actually supposed to be like a frosted acrylic. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a piece of frosted acrylic when I made this one, but I'm going to try to source one so I can actually get it to look proper to the real one that would be over top of the screen here, but it gets the job done. It still kind of suits the aesthetic of the set. And then this is the CRT I've had the longest in my collection. So this is my KV 1397R from 86, I want to say. I've had this set since, I believe, either 2013 or 2014. I purchased it at, there used to be a Salvation Army located here on Broad Street in Manchester, Connecticut, and I purchased it there for $15. I remember seeing it and thinking, wow, that white case is so cool looking. I definitely would want to play some Genesis on here, and this is the one I blame for sending me down this wild rabbit hole of tube collecting. This is one of the sets I'll never part with, just for personal connection reasons to this thing. just has mono composite input and RF only on the back of it, which gets the job done. Genesis looks great on here, and I love this little guy. Next up, this is, if I were to get rid of absolutely everything in my collection and just keep one tube, it is this guy down here. This is a Sony KV-24FV300. This thing is a beast of a TV, has all the inputs I can possibly ask for. Obviously, it'll have RF and composite, also has S-video and component as well. Fantastic speakers on here. I know like the FV series were always well known for their good sound quality, and this thing easily fills the room, even for its smaller size. But the whole reason why this is the set I would keep over everything else is because it is, I think, the perfect size. If you have it on the desk in front of you, it's perfect size. It fills your field of view and whatnot. But it's also very easy to move around. This thing probably weighs maybe 80 to 100 pounds if I were to guess, but it's still very easy for me to move myself. I'm not feeling like I'm about to collapse whenever I have this thing in my arms. And just for that fact alone, yeah, if I were stranded on an island and I can only have one tube with me, this is definitely going to be the tube for that job. Just does everything I can possibly ask for. If you ever come across one of these guys, pick it up. They're great. Next up, this was another gift from my friend Wyatt. Again, thank you, Wyatt, for this guy. This is a Toshiba Black Stripe from, I think, 84, I want to say. I love the odd design of this guy because it does have like the wood grain furnishing on it, but it's also it's vertically oriented. You get a lot of these older sets, kind of like this Panasonic here, where they'll often have like the speakers or the tuners located adjacent to the screen on either the left or the right. But then this does it down below, which is pretty neat. It's taller than it is wide. It does have like this little door down here for all the picture adjustments, and my favorite party trick to show off, over here where it says remote, that's your remote storage. It's actually a little spring-loaded drawer that you can just click the remote into and then take it out as you please. Has composite input, which is pretty nice, but yeah, this thing is so sweet. Then next up, these tubes down here, not terribly notable. I'll just breeze past them real quick. I do have this Panasonic right here. I do like the very clean design of the front of this guy because it does have this drawer right here for all the picture control, but when you close it, it's completely barren of any buttons whatsoever. It looks almost like a monitor, but it isn't. It has a full TV tuner in it and everything. Don't use it too much, but it's a nice spare set to have around. Then I have this Sony 13-inch PC monitor from late 90s, I believe. Unfortunately, it's suffering from a little bit of red push. I've tried adjusting it in the on-screen menu, but unfortunately wasn't able to really remedy it. I haven't opened it up yet to see if there's any physical adjustments on either the neck board or the main board inside of it, or say if it actually needed some proper servicing to get rid of some of that red push. But still is a nice design. I like the industrial gray of the case itself, and say like down the road if I were to build like a nice Windows 98 machine, I would love to use this as the main monitor for that. It's a neat little guy. And then this Sony 13-inch from the mid-90s. I don't know the model number off the top of my head, but again, serves the same purpose as this Panasonic over here. Just a nice little set with composite to have lying around in case I need it. This was another recent pickup for this year. So this is a Zenith System 2 from, I believe, 84, 85. I've always loved the aesthetics of Zenith sets, and when I saw this pop up on Facebook Marketplace, I knew I had to grab it. I love first off, the wood grain is perfect on here, and then you get like the big glowing green channel indicator up here, and then the the wonderful number pad, which also hides the picture controls behind it as well. It's on this little hinged drawer with like a ribbon cable that runs through here. But yep, you have your picture adjustment behind it, and like, yeah, just the big number pad on the front of it. And then last but not least in this rack, I was talking about this earlier, this is a Samsung SyncMaster 1100 MB. This is the newest set in my collection, and I apologize for not being able to show it too much, but it's kind of tucked away in the corner here because this is the only place it fits. Yeah, it's the newest set in my collection. This is from, no, not September, June of 2006 is the manufacturer date on here. Pretty beastly for a PC monitor. It maxes out at 1600 by 1200 at, I believe, 85 hertz. Could be either 60 or 85, but I believe it's 85. And Xbox 360 through VGA looks fantastic on here. I was recently playing some Halo 3 on it, over 360, over VGA on it, and just unreal how crisp it is. But I'd love to daily drive this monitor, but again, it's a big honking monitor. It does not fit on that desk whatsoever. So until I get a much larger desk, unfortunately, it's got to live down in that corner for now. But yeah, so that is my entire CRT rack. And again, things move out of this rack, in and out of this rack as I acquire new sets. Some of these are long-term keepers. Like, obviously, I talked about the 1397. That's one that I have too much personal connection to ever get rid of. This 24FE300 is fantastic. This Panasonic knobby TV up here is aesthetically perfect for me. So, but yeah. Some obligatory Daisy pets. Look at her convergence. It's all off. She's got like color bleed into her different colors here or whatnot. Nah, she's nice. Figured I'd also show this one off too, being that this is the other CRT in my collection that's not in my game room. This is a RCA ColorTrack 2000 console TV from 1988, and this is my living room CRT for obvious reasons. I've always had a love for these console televisions, and when I saw this one pop up for $10 on Facebook Marketplace, I knew I had to have it. Shockingly enough, this has two stereo composite inputs on it. When I went to go pick it up, and I rolled it away from the wall, and I was like, wait a second, what's stereo inputs doing on a console TV? That was a very pleasant shock for me when I picked up the set. I'm in the process of restoring this. I think that there's a problem cap in the filter section on it, because I do get a little bit of a kind of like a rippling wave that goes, you can't really see it on the screen for the most part if you got something going on, but on like pure like flat color images on there, you can definitely see it scrolling across the screen. I haven't figured out the exact cap that's causing the issue on it. I need to change out some of the larger ones. I'm having a little difficulty sourcing them. But yeah, this is another set that I'm going to keep for a long time, only because, I mean, how do you beat the aesthetics of this thing? It's just absolutely wonderful. And of course, I had to have my big chonky RCA top loader VCR on the top of it. Unfortunately, this does not really work too much. I've changed the belts on it. I've lubed up the entire mechanism on it. Right now, I think that the actual head itself, one of the two heads on it, is faulty, so I have to find a replacement for it, which is kind of a pain in the neck to find a replacement head for a VCR this old. But yeah, it's RCA, so of course it had to be partnered with the RCA console TV in the living room. But yeah, this is my grandma TV. It's wonderful. You might see a stolen meme going around of this thing every now and again, but yeah, I have the real one. Here it is. This is in my living room right here. But yeah, that is my big honkin' RCA console. Oh yeah, and also another traffic light. Yes, I own traffic lights. Yes, this is in my living room. Yes, it lights up. It's pretty cool. But in case you notice these in the background, yeah. But yeah, so thank you for joining me on a tour of my CRT collection and my game room. Hopefully I'll be posting more content in the future because, again, people keep asking me, Steve, you own all this stuff, but you never post about them online. So I want to change that. It's just all boils down to when I have the time to actually record and edit and put this stuff together. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you'll be seeing more from me in the future. And have a good rest of your Labor Day.